Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and James Kopp again today. Now, James wrote to us and said that I'd been surprised he was old enough to have a 7-year-old grandchild. Well, James is wowing me today because he's got a 21-year-old grandchild, and this is another birthday greeting puzzle for Rohan. So, happy birthday, Rohan. It's today. And you are 21, you get the key to the door. It was traditional to be said. So congratulations to you. And James is such a genius that he can produce a puzzle for any occasion. And I bet it will be at that standard that is slightly harder than average for our channel, or for my slot anyway. So we will see how we go. It's a German whisper puzzle. Now, I did a Dutch whisper puzzle yesterday, and I really missed one very important cage with a Dutch whisper in it. Thank you. Those who pointed me on the right path in the comments, I'm sorry I couldn't hear you when I was solving. But these are just human solves. We're not trying to give you the perfect solve path. Obviously, we're trying to be as good as we can be, but that is not flawless. And I'm afraid you have to live with our human vicissitudes. Now, what else have we got going on? Well, if you like German Whisper or Dutch Whisper Sudoku, try our Lines app. It is brilliant, and it is the latest one we have out amongst all of our apps. We recommend them very highly, and they are available on the links under the video. Also, of course, you could join us on Patreon, where all sorts of things going on. I've put up a connections video today. We've got a Simon Solve of Blobs's Patreon reward, the Lord of the Rings. We've got this month's Patreon reward, the rather marvelous a 6x6 Sudoku, but by Pause, with contributions from Lulero and I Love Sleeping. Let's mention them. And loads of content on Patreon. In a couple of days there'll be a crossword video. We've got all kinds of things going on. It's just active there. And 600k Bang by Rockrat Zero as well, a new connected 5 Sudoku puzzles for those that found the Pause hunt a bit easier than usual. Don't forget, there's also our merchandise, like this wonderful water bottle with a knowledge bomb on the back, and Sven's Sudoku pad as well, of course. So loads of ways to engage with the channel, and do leave comments on the video. We love it when you indicate that you've been following along with us, and sometimes try the puzzle yourself. So you can click the link, the first link under the video, and try 21 by James Kopp. I'm going to go through the rules now. Normal Sudoku rules apply 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. The German Whisper rule applies so that adjacent digits along a green line, like those two, have a difference of at least 5. So these digits could be 1 and 6 or 1 and 9, but they couldn't be 3 and 7 because the difference isn't enough. Now, there are also, as well as the drawn 21 in the grid, there are 3 21s outside the grid as well to commemorate Rohan's birthday. And they are showing that the sum of the first X digits in this direction is 21. And if we were to put a 6 there, that means the first 6 digits in this column add up to 21, because the first digit seen is an X, and that's the first digit in this row, first digit in this column looking upwards. And X tells you how many digits you're counting to get to 21. That's the X sums rule. Give it a try. It looks fascinating. 2 rule sets I really like. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, I like to tell you 3 things about German whispers, and one of them is definitely relevant immediately. The 3 things are that you can never put a 5 on a green line, and that's because 5 has no possible Sudoku neighbours. The nearest digits would be 0 and 10, or the nearest numbers, and they are not Sudoku digits. Then that means that every green line alternates between digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5 to maintain the difference. So we could colour those perhaps, and we may do that to try and find which ones are high and which ones are low. And finally, 4 and 6 are quite difficult to place. There are cells where they couldn't go in on green lines, just spotting some of those. And that is because if they're in a position where they have two neighbours and those two neighbours see each other by a Sudoku rule. It's impossible. So you couldn't put 4 here because both of those would have to be 9, which is the only German whisper neighbour of 4. So those things are worth knowing. And if you look for a 5 in this column, there's only one cell with no green in it. And then if you look for a 5 in this column, there are 2 cells, but one of those can't be a 5 just by Sudoku. So we get 2 5s as a start. There must be a 5 in one of those cells, so I use the corner marking technique. There must be a 5 now in one of these 2, and therefore the 5 in column 7 is definitely there. And that gives us the 5 in box 1, and that gives us the 5 in box 7. So we've got a very decent start on 5s. Then there's a 5 in one of those cells, and I think in box 5 it could be anywhere there, so I'm not going to go any further with that. So that first rule of German whispers was very useful. What else have we got going on? Well, I don't know, but it's probably time to start colour. No, let's use the 21s. The X-sum clues. Right. You can get to 21 in 3 digits, but you can't do it by using a 3 as the first digit, because the other 2 would have to add up to 18. So these do not begin, the X's here in these cells are not 3 or 2 or 1. And 6 is the maximum. So 4, 5 or 6, that's because there's only one way of getting 6 digits to add up to 21, and that's if they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, that's impossible here because we have to alternate high and low digits on this line. And in fact, let's colour this line between high and low digits just to make the point. I don't know which is high and I don't know which is low at the moment, but I know I've got a mix of them here. And if I had used a 6 in this cell, then there wouldn't be any other high digits I was allowed in the next 6. And I've got to use one high digit somewhere here. So that's not a 6. It's also clearly not a 5 because it sees no less than 3 5s in the grid. So that's a 4. Then we get a 9 on the line. We know how this line is alternating between low and high. This can't be a 6 because its neighbours see each other. That was one of the rules we said earlier. And now we can count highs and lows in column 1. We've got 2 lows here on this line. We're going to have another one in those 2 cells, and that's 3. This is obviously 1 high and 1 low. So that's 3 lows used up. So we've only got 1 low available for these, and they must alternate. The low must be in the middle. And then we can go round the rest of that line, spotting highs and lows. This one could be a 6, but these ones can't be. Oops. Again, because of the rule about digits that see each other. Right, this cannot be a 4 because its neighbours see each other. So 4 is definitely in one of those 2 cells in box 1. I mean, I now know it's one in one of those 3 in box 3, but I'm not going to pencil mark that yet. 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, these add up to 21. Right. I don't think this is the sort of mistake I made on that 11 cage yesterday. I don't think there's any way to make these low, because they would be 3 and 2 at a maximum, and that would leave this to be a 12. Well, I'm not allowed to write a 12 or more into a Sudoku. So yellow has become high, and we can change yellow to orange, my normal high colour, and red to blue, my normal low colour. And this blue is 1, 2, or 3, and there are the 4 low digits. These are from 6. We've got a 6, 7, 8 triple here. That could be 6, because these can both be 1. They don't see each other. Right, this is high. And that's not allowed to be 6. So that's a 7, 8, 9 triple. And there's only one place for 6 in box 1. 6 has to be next to a 1. These are from 2, 3, 4 now. That's 6, 7, 8, triple. And these are the other low digits. This is a 9. This is the only place 9 can go in column 2. That's not a 9 because of the 9 we've written. And this is not a 1. So there is a 1 in one of these cells. There is a 1 in one of these. These digits are obviously from 2, 3, 7, and 8. They can't be a 3, 7 pair. These are low. This is high and not 9. And that means these can't include 4 in them. So I'm going to literally write 1, 2, 3. Actually, that one couldn't on the neighbours rule. The monogamous digits rule that we sometimes invoke. No, this is 1 high and 1 low left in box 4. So a bit stuck. Now, let's think about the actual numbers again. I just ruled out highs, 2 lows. If this was a 3, these would add up to 14. They would be 6 and 8, but 3 is not allowed to be next to 6, so it's not a 3. If it's a 2, these add up to 15. And they couldn't be 6, 9, so they'd have to be 7, 8. So this could go 4, 7, 8, 2. Let's just think about the rest of the row. 5 there. 1, 3, 6, 9 to place. Okay, I don't know quite what I think about that. If that's a 1, there's a bit more freedom. These, well, not much. These are a 7, 9 pair if that's a 1. And if it's a 2, I just said they're a 7, 8 pair. So there's always a 7 here in these 2 cells. That's quite a surprising conclusion. And either 9 or 8. So no 6 now anymore. So that's the 6 in box 7. 4, 6, 1. Yeah, that would leave a 10. That doesn't, I'm just checking that couldn't be a 6. Now, 6 is on a green line in this box because it can't be in those cells. So it's either there or there. And therefore 1 must go next to it in one of those positions. And the 1 in row 8 is somewhere here. That's strange. This is either from 7, 8 or 7, 9 we worked out. So it's not a 6 either. Now, if that is 6 and 1, this is a 2 and that's 7, 8. That would have to be 9. This would have to be 3. But this being 6, 1... Oh, that's interesting. Well, that makes this a 2, 3 pair and this a 1. And then what do we have? We have 7, 9 here. So let's actually think about 4, 7, 1, 9 or 4, 9, 1, 7 there. 5 there. Now 6 can't go on the line. So if that's a 1, this is a 6. And I just worked out if that's a 2, this is a 3. Didn't I? No, maybe I didn't. Because if this is 4, 7, 2, 8, that could be 9. Yeah, this would have to be 9 or 1. In fact, this might have to be 9 or 1. At the moment, maybe it can be 8. Maybe even 2. Okay, I don't know. But I think I might be coming to the conclusion that this cell is 3 or 6, which... I don't know, it might help. 4, 7, 8. So I'm thinking again, 4, with a 2 there, we've got 7, 8. 4, 2, 7, 8, 5. Then this has to be 1 or 9. If it's 1, it's surrounded by 6, 9, and that's a 3. If it's 9, it's surrounded by 1, 3, and that's a 6. So that is 3 or 6 in those circumstances. If this is 4, 7, 1, 9, then 6 can't get on this line and ends up here. So this is always 3 or 6. 6, 1, if that was 6, I think this is 9 then. And then 9 would be, well, it would be on this line somewhere, but we don't actually know how this line alternates or this one, even though we have possible positions for 6 and 1. Okay, all right, calm down, Mark. Now, let's colour this line anyway, because I haven't done that. Alternating colours, yellow and red, because I don't know how they relate to orange and blue yet. If these, well, I mean, we've worked out various ways this row works. These could be either high or low. Oh, I have not thought much about these 21 sums. Right, 6 is not possible here because it would have to be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that cell wouldn't fit into it. 6 here is also not possible, again because of this cell. If you put 6, 5, 3, 4, 2, 1 there, you'd have to have 7, 8, 9 here, and that would break that cell. So that's not a 6. So they're both either 4 or 5. Well, that's better. Now, which one is less likely to be 5? Or is that... I don't know. That's not probably what we should do. This has to alternate still. Ah, hang on. These reds, none of these can be the 4 or 6, the monogamous digit, because they all have 2 neighbours that see each other. That one has those 2, that one has these 2, and that one has those 2. So this is a set of either 1, 2, 3 or 7, 8, 9. That's strange. How does that help? Oh, could these be low? There'd have to be a 4 in one of these cells, and one of these would have to be 9. If yellow was low, we've got all 4... Oh, no. Okay, yellow is either low and we've got all 4 low cells in row 4, or yellow is high and we've got all 4 high cells in row 7. One of those is true. I don't know which one. Oh, sorry, I'm probably missing something very obvious again today. Now, if these were 2 lows, that would be all 4 lows here. That would have to be a 5. So it'd be quite good to rule this out from being a 5. Now, if that was a 5, this is at least a 7. That's 12. Then these cells have to add up to at most 9. And that's difficult. They couldn't be 2, 3, 4 because they would break those 2 somehow. If they were... No, I was just going to get excited about where 5 goes in the column, but if we're positing it here, I don't have to worry about that. If that's a 5... Oh, okay. If that's a 5, this is at least a 7. These add up... Sorry, this is at least a 7. These are at most 9, and they might add up to something smaller. But they can't be 3 low digits. We've had 5 there, and we've got 2 low digits here. So one of these would have to be high. So they would have to be 6, 2, 1, with 5 there and 7 there. To have a 5 here, you would have to go 5, 7, 6, 2, 1, 3, 4 there, and that won't work. Never mind about 8, 9 being here. 4 there and 3 there won't work because the 4 definitely needs a 9 next to it, and the 3 has 2 cells next to it, and they would have to be 8 and 9, and that would clash with that 9. So that is quite complicated, but it is rather beautiful as well. So that is a 4. Now we've used 3 low digits in the bottom row, and this one has to be low. That doesn't mean it's definitely a 1. I was going to go, but it does mean, because this could still be the 6, 1, and that could be a different low digit. But it does mean it's from 1, 2, 3. These, I don't know, they are high. I should actually just colour the rest of these digits, because I might need to look at the whole grid in colour terms fairly soon, actually. Well, we've got quite a lot coloured there. And I've got it wrong in loads of positions. All of these lows I managed to colour orange instead of blue. There we go. So that looks more reasonable. Now there's a 5 here, and now it's with a low digit. Oh, that's because I got this one wrong. There we go. Better. Is that better? Oh, there's definitely a 1 in those cells. There's definitely a 3 in one of these. So that's not a 3. It doesn't change much here. But if that's 6, 1, this is now a 2. 3, 1, 8. This would have to be 7, 9. If that's 6, 1, this is a 7, 9 pair. With a 2 here, this would be 3, 4, 8. I can't falsify it. Now, this is going to alternate as well. I'm going to find some different colours here. Let's go grey and green, because I need to relate these as well to... Oh look, if red is the same as orange, that's definitely a 6. If yellow is the same as orange, is that definitely a 6 again? No, I don't see why it would be. Sorry, I'm not having useful thoughts here. Right, let's look at this grey segment. Now, this whoa, see, this digit, almost, if it was red, it has to be a 4 or a 6. And then that's extreme, that's a 1 or a 9. But if it's yellow, then it could just get away with being a more middling digit. It doesn't have to be so extreme. Okay, I don't quite know what I'm doing at the moment. Right, if these are high, then that's 2 highs in this column and the reds have to be low. So if grey is high, yellow is high. That's definite. And this would be a 4. What does it mean? I don't know. Here's another thought I've just had. One of these is a 3 or a 7, because they are either a 9, 8, 7 set or a 1, 2, 3 set. If they're a 3, oh no, I was thinking they had to be next to a 9 here. That's not right. That's okay, never mind about that. Another thought goes begging. Now these are all low already. Okay, if that was low, it's 2 or 3. Then these are high. And the only place, if grey is high, this is the only place to put 6 in the top row. If grey is high, this is a 6. If grey is low, the 6 in the top row is here. And then that's a 3. And then the 6 is making yellow high, but it can't be. Hang on, what? If grey is low, the 6 in the top row is here, and that cell that we work quite hard on, might be useful, becomes a 3. And that makes, then we've had 3 lows, and red becomes low. So if grey is low, red is grey, and this digit is a 4. So if grey is high, this is a 6. Because it's the only place in the top row for a 6. And if grey is low, this becomes a 4. And what else happened there? So that is 4 or 6, but, and this is 1 or 9 as a result of that. But something else was happening in my brain. If grey is low, so this is a 4, that was the 6, this is 3. Now we know that yellow is high, which we knew anyway. If that, no, hang on, what? I think this works the same either way. Okay, if that's a 4, this is 6 in the top row, that's 3, and yellow is high on the count of row 7. But if this is 6, the alternative, if this is high, then that's high and yellow must be high again. Yellow is always high. That is so confusing, James. What have you done? So yellow is orange and high. Red is now low and blue. And these cells are the 1, 2, 3 set. And these are from 7, 8, 9. I still don't know where the 6 goes or where the 4 goes, but I do know the colours here. Now, that has given me that this is low, and that then has to be a 3. So that's not a 3. One of these is a 6. The other one is 8 or 9. Now this had better help, because that took some ringing out of this. Ringing with a W. Now, I still don't know this colour. That's so strange. I don't think I do. If I do, I don't understand how I know it. Okay, if grey is low, that is a 4. It's the only... No, I don't know that. This could be the 4. No, we've worked out this is 4 or 6. Wake up. So if it's low... If grey is low, these are from 1, 2, 3. This is a set of orange, which goes with that orange. What have we got going on here? Orange and blue there. That must be one of each. This one is green to make up the complement of the column, but I don't know whether green is high or low. Oh my goodness, I really thought that once I could colour this line properly, I'd be breaking through. Oh, one of these is a 6, so that's a 1. That's quite big and very obvious. That's a 2. We get 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Now, 6 was going to be in one of those cells in this box. Now it's there. Right, that's not a 6. Now, 6 in this column is here, and now we do know the colours up here. Grey becomes orange, green becomes blue, and now we are really fit for purpose. This is 7, 8 or 9. That's a definite 1. That's not a 1, nor's that actually now. They're a 2, 3 pair. That means this can't be 7, because 3 mustn't touch 7. This is 7, 8 or 9 as well. So is this. Here we've got 1 low and 1 high. We've got all the blues in this row. So those are all orange. That's now blue on the count. And it's not 2 up here, so it's 3 or 4. This one can't be 4, so that's the 4 in the box. This is 2 or 3. Now, we've got 1 orange and 1 blue to go here. These are both, no, 1 is orange and 1 is 5, which I'm leaving white for the time being. In the top row, that can't be 1, so this is at least 2 and 3, and that can't be 7. That could be 4. This is 3 or 4 in this box, so that's 8 or 9 in the corner. This is 7, 8 or 9 because it's next to 2. And now this is a 5, 6 pair. 4, 5, 6, 3. I mean, I say that as though it's a thrilling discovery. It probably isn't. If that is 2 or 3, no, it could be a 7 with a 2 and 3 there next to 8, 9. Oh, I feel like we're very close to powering through this now, and yet I could still be a long way away, because this is what James does to you. That's one of each. Don't know how they work. We've got 2, 3, and 4 there. Oh, that can't be 4 anymore because of this. 2, 3, 1. So this is now a 5, 4 pair, definite. And I've got a 5, 6 pair down. That's revealing an X-wing that's been available for ages. Probably does nothing with that 5 there. Doesn't look like it does. These are all high and include 6. Along here we've got 1 high. We've got 1. Oh, goodness. This is 7 or 8. That can still be 3. 7, 8 pair. Oh, 3 has to be next to 8 down there. So that's 7. Now it can't be 3. Now, one of those 2 is a 4. 1, 2. That's not 2. This one could be 6 still, I think. Certainly not ruling it out yet. 6 in this column has to be on this line, so that's a 6, 1 line. 7, 8, 9, that's 2, 3, or 4. That didn't. I thought that was another great discovery. It did nothing at all. Oh, 3 has come out of these cells. So they are 2 and either 7 or 8. Oh, that is a 2 in one of those. So that's become a 1 now by elimination. That's 2, 3, or 4, which doesn't actually help. Ah, the 1 is looking across at this 6, 1 pair that we just discovered and can now colour. And there's a 1 in one of those 2 cells by Sudoku. There's a 6 in one of these 2 by Sudoku. 6, 1. There's a 4 here by Sudoku. That makes this a 3. Now there's a 4 in this particular cell here. That is the remaining orange, 7 or 8, in the box. Now, I've got to do these 21 sums. They must... I mean, I got quite a long way here. Why did I not finish that thought off? 4. Oh, it's become a 4. That's what I was trying to do. Right, okay, well, maybe I should have finished it off. Now, maybe this can't be a 5. With 2 highs here, the only way for this to be a 5 is if that is 6, and that is 7, and this is 1, and that's 2. And that will break this. If you put 5, 6, 7, 1, 2 here, that's broken. So this is a 4 as well. All of the X's in this puzzle turned out to be 4s. That deals with 5 and 6 down here. I'm going to keep the colouring going because it's been quite useful throughout. 6 is now in one of those 2 cells in box 5 and not here. Therefore it's here in box 6. Box 4, that is, sorry. And it's in one of these 2 cells. There's an X-wing on 6's left. Come on, we must be nearly done now. Everything seems to have become available, and yet I still can't fill everything in. Right, that can't be 3 because an 8, 9 pair would break that cell. So that's 1 or 2. And one of these is 7. That's the point. That's why that's 1 or 2. 1, 5, 2, 6. This colour we know it's blue. 3 or 4. Oh, there's a 2 on that, so that's not a 2. So now this isn't a 7, and this is a 7. Come on. Silly puzzle. That's an 8, 9 pair, so that's a 7 in the corner. That's got to be next to a 2. That becomes a 3. By Sudoku, there's a 3 in one of these cells. Getting a lot of this central box marked up with corner marks. Now, this has to add up to 21, and so does this. I have to use that. 4 plus 6 and 7 is the minimum. That has to be low. And let's try that down. Oh no, I don't have 2 highs here. In fact, I'm only allowed to use one low in the column because I've used 3 already. So only one of these 2 is low, sorry. And therefore 2 of these, well, they could be 5 this time. So it's either a 5 there, high and low, or a low, high pair in these 2. Can 1 be there? Then this would be a 9-7 pair. Okay, let's try this one. If that's a 3, which actually gives the most flexibility, this is a 6-8 pair. And that's, oh, this can't be 7. That's been available for quite a long time. This is a 1-2-7 triple. This is just Sudoku now. You numpty. That's an 8. That's 9. That's 7. That's not 7. 2, 8, 6. That's not 8. These aren't 9. They're a 7-8 pair, so that can't be 3. That must be 2. Oh, this is how to do the puzzle. Finally getting on with it. 3, 5, 7 here. And that's a 2. And this 8, 9 pair, what are they looking at? I don't know. 2 is placed here. There it is. This is not a 2. In fact, this is an 8 now. And we are getting finished now. That's not a 3. 3, 3. One of these is a 3. Oh, that's become a 3 because of the 4 at the other side of the grid. That's a 4. That does 3 and 4 at the top. That 3 sees that into a 7. And now this is low and is 1 or 2. That's indeed a 1-2 pair. This must be helpful. This is a 6-7-8 triple without 6 in the middle. This is a 1-2-9 triple. One of those is 9. It's still on the whisper, isn't it? But all of these bits look like there's nothing else I can do to disambiguate them. I literally can't see anything else on the whisper. It's not all on the whisper. It's on the 21. It's on the X sums. Yes, it is. Right, 4 and a 2 there would be 6. We would then need... Oh, look, we've got an 8-9 pair. I hadn't seen that. So 4 and 2 would need 15. There's 2 ways of doing that. 4 and 1 would need a 7-9 pair. Let's try this one instead. If that was a 7, we'd have... Yeah, this is not 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is high. Well, at least 5. It sees 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these add up to a minimum of 17, and that's not a 7. This is now low. Part of a 1-2 pair in the column, and that makes that a 9. And this a 1 or 2. Now I've got a 1-2 pair in this column, and that's a 7. And that is a 1 or 2. Now I've got a 1-2 pair in this column. So these now add up to somewhere between 13 and 15. And this is somewhere between 8 and 6, therefore. So it's not 5, and it's not 9. It's orange, 7 or 8. This is the 5 in the column. That's going to sort out 5 over here, and 3, which is blue. This is a 4-6 pair, which I can do by Sudoku. And then I can colour this blue by counting it and make it a 3 by Sudoku. Colour this orange by counting it and make it 8 or 9 by Sudoku, which resolves this as a 7 in the row. That's not a 7. Now, there was no more, it's just Sudoku. There was no more whispering to do. So it's just Sudoku, and I'm just going to concentrate on eliminating digits based on other digits in rows, columns, and boxes. That's what I mean by just Sudoku. 8, 7. And this 1-2 deadly pattern is clearly going to unfurl because of the 21 sums in both cases. Right, 15, 19, that needs a 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, and this sum will be, actually we've got 4, 7, 2, 8, 7, 8, 2, 4, 4, 7, 2, 8, exactly the same sum making 21 in every case. Classic stuff from James Kopp, a brilliant puzzle. First to solve it, that's delightful. But what an excellent epic journey of 36 minutes solving 21. Congratulations again to Rohan and to James. And of course, there is a chance, James, that if the results have gone our way today, your Netherlands football team will be playing my England football team in the next round of the Euros. I'm not sure what the chance of that result happening is, but anyway, we will see. About 25%, I reckon. See you next time on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.